Hello, today I'm going to be reviewing the Multiplex Easystar II. Now this is a easy to fly trainer that almost anybody can get started flying with. It flies very simple and you have the option of flying it with just rudder and elevator as well as with a 4-channel with ailerons, which is what I suggest because I do not like flying 3-channel aircraft because they are quite unresponsive. This is pretty responsive with the when you have 4 channels, but the what it suggests in the manual for the control throws, it is pretty unresponsive. I'd suggest getting adjusting your throws to be a bit higher in this aircraft. Now this is the second Easystar from Multiplex, so it's Easystar II. There's also the Easystar 1, and the big difference between this one and the Easystar 1 is the fact that this plane, you have the ability to fly with 4 channels, whereas the Easystar 1, which my dad had one of those, from the factory you can only have a 3-channel aircraft with rudder and elevator, but he cut ailerons out himself because it's a wonderful flying airplane, it's just we don't like 3-channel aircraft. Now this plane has a pretty big area for a motor. I have a really powerful brushless motor in here. Let me open up the motor compartment here. Just 3 screws, and that's where your motor and ESC are back up here. And there's right here, there's a vent, so your ESC won't overheat. This is one of my concerns when looking at pictures online before I got this aircraft and built it. Was that the ESC would not have enough ventilation and would overheat, but that's not the case because we have a vent going straight to where the ESC is. Pretty cramped in there. I've got a decent sized motor, but it is pretty cramped up here. I have just a in-runner motor, and down in there, one thing that you should do, and this is the kit version, there's also a ready-to-run version that's off the top of my head, I don't remember how much it cost, but this was $95 for the kit version, which doesn't come with any electronics. And in there, you can see the ESC in there. I'm using a Cascrations Thunderbird 18. But what I would suggest, which it doesn't tell you in the manual, is to, before you glue the 2 fuselage halves together, put the ESC in first. It doesn't tell you to in the manual. It actually never tells you where to put the ESC. Or the receiver. It doesn't tell you where to put any electronics except for the motor. But I'd put the ESC in before you glue the halves together, because I didn't do that, and it was a real pain to get the ESC down in there. But I did manage to do it, and it's right at the vent right there, so it keeps it quite cool. All you need to build this kit, it's really easy to build. It only took me a few hours. Is some CA glue. I think this is medium CA, yeah. And some kicker or activator. That way it dries quite a bit faster, or cures a bit faster. Because how you put this fuselage together so you don't have to hold it for so long is you spray one side of the fuselage with some kicker and cover the other side with a decent amount of CA and then squish them together, and as soon as they touch, it sticks and it's stuck. So yesterday, you saw the video, I went flying this aircraft, and it flies very, very good. This is one of the best planes I've ever flown. But the thing is, I have no idea what happened, because after I got it on the ground, the elevator is working just fine, so I don't know why it wasn't responding. But during my last flight, I had absolutely no elevator control. We had a bit of an accident with the ground. It hit a bit hard, which I don't know if you can tell, but the front foam's a little bit bent up. It's not too bad. It just kind of hit at a steep angle, kind of going fast. It actually split the glue joint in front apart. The nice thing about these foam planes is they're extremely easy to fix if they break. So I just squirted some more CA in there and glued it back together, and it's fine. It's ready to fly again. Although I need to figure out before I fly again what exactly the issue was as to why my elevator stopped responding. That's a pretty bad issue to have, because with this plane having as much power as I put on it, as soon as you put the throttle up, it wants to climb. So I was kind of freaking out because it wasn't going down, it was just climbing and climbing, which was pretty scary. I'll include some flight videos in this video here, but overall, I would definitely suggest this plane to anyone getting into RC, especially since it's fairly cheap to build and fly, as well as if you don't want to build it, there's a ready-to-run version so that you're certain that it's built correctly and it will work. Now, for transport, these wings come off very easily. They snap in and then they just pop out. There's a plastic spar. I'm not going to pull the other side out. Actually, I will pull the other side out so you can see how the mechanism works. Then flips over, belt wings on. As you can see, this is how the wing mechanism works. It just goes in like that. Obviously, it's just a clip. And when you get them this close, that's the foam clip. They just clip together like that. And I was surprised. This is pretty easy to clip and unclip. I was worried that these might fall out in air, but after even a couple hard landings, they didn't move. So I'm not worried about that anymore. Kind of a pain that it wants to flip over without the wings on. Oh, got plugged in. Anyway, I will include some flight videos at the end of this video so you can see that. And she's ready to fly. So here's the battery. It's a pretty big battery hatch. I guess I'll go grab the battery real quick. I fly it with a 2200 milliamp hour 3-cell, which is your standard park flyer battery. And I have it marked in here. You could fit a much bigger battery in here if you wanted to. There's tons of room in here. It's also where I keep my receiver, which is nice. So I have it marked here on the side where they put the battery, where the front of the battery should be, in order to get the correct CG, which should be about 78 millimeters back from the center of the wing. So about right there. I have it a little bit nose heavy. It's easier to fly a slightly nose heavy airplane than a slightly back heavy airplane, so I aim to air towards the front. And one thing to note is when you get the kit version, this hatch does not come painted. You have to paint that yourself, so make sure you have some black, gray, blue, whatever color you want to make it, paint on hand when you buy the kit version.